Welcome. I'm tired. Well, welcome. Nothing is appearing on my screen. Okay, never mind. It is. Just making sure. Welcome. Oh, no, just a test audio. I'll be back real quick, but y'all gotta take a glance look at what I've been playing around with. Oh. Hey, I'm back. Okay, what are we doing? Let's showcase the history behind this. I did a lot. You're probably wondering what the hell just happened. There are multiple layers. I gotta make sure this one's deleted. And I'll explain what's happening. So let's just start with the sketch. If you haven't seen the other video. Oh, that actually looks pretty good. Huh. Anyways, that actually looks pretty good. You could sense it. Very nice and cute. We started off with the sketch. That was my basis. Go watch that video. I think it's part 2. This was part 3, I think. Wait, let me make sure if I'm naming it this seriously correctly as I'm talking about this. So what's the difference between part 3 and part 2, you're asking? Part 2 is just trying to get it into proportions. I don't think proportion is the right word. Just lining it up, making sure everything is properly in its format. Ooh, yeah, I do have to create part 1, part 2, so people know what's happening. So yeah. So in part 2, we're just picking out new brushes. We're just experimenting and testing things out. I don't really have a necessary style. I'm a big fan of certain artworks, such as Capcom, or the classic masters, like the oil ones, or that from the Hudson River School, which I really check it out. But I'm all over the place when it comes to learning about art. Once again, this ain't my basis of, this is what I want to do. I love all sorts of artwork, from modern to the classical and digital. And I think in the second video I talked about websites to visit when studying art. And I'll showcase that website one more time. Let me see if I think I already have it ready. Give me a second. Bookmarks, resource aids. The collection is art, and I think there's one page where you could just quickly go and find. Yeah. So this website right here. Let me see if I could pull it up. And this Google Arts. So this one, if you want to type in something, understand colors, it'll pop up and showcase colors throughout history. Or let's say you want to talk about waves. I actually recognize this one. This one's from I think it's Chicago Museum of Art. It's more likely. Yeah, Chicago Institute. Yeah. See, that's something I've been exploring those museums a lot online. Maybe you want to study waves and see how each culture interprets waves. This is actually public domain, which is a word I'm going to hear a lot, but I like seeing how other artists from the past, not from our time today, explore or interpret it, what waves should look like. See? It could be very childish or simple, or something unique and different. Even this one could be considered a wave. When you click on it, it'll showcase where the museum is from, and it could probably even tell you if it's public domain or not. What does it mean to public domain? Just once again, I'll keep repeating that. It's available for you to print. So there's certain laws and rules behind it. I recommend checking it out. Oh, and this one is public domain. Interesting. So that means you're more than welcome to copy, modify, distribute the work. In other words, copy it, claim it as your own, change it as your own, and distribute the work. In other words, sell it. That's what commercial means, without even having to ask for permission. So I recommend checking this more out from Creative Commons 0. feel like something that people need to understand more. I recommend checking this website out, Creative Commons Zero. It's not just art; they have all sorts of sources that one could use to resell. But please give them credit. So let's go back to where we're talking about the frog. And last but not least, Google Art. I really highly recommend going here. Top niche, high quality work that you could study off. Which is I always keep coming back and back to it. Alright, back to our little beauty. Okay, so we started off with the sketch. From there, once again, the second video was playing with brushes, and I was looking over here, which I'm going to show my brocacious. I use Frankentoon. I really highly recommend checking them out. There's awesome other brushes, but for now, I'm just playing around with their Neptune markers and Neptune ink, and oh man, I can't think today. I'm trying to think right now. I think I played around with Neptune. No, ink. It's not ink. Ink is too heavy. Was it Neptune itself? I think it is. I did use the Neptune texture brush. I didn't. It took me a while to experiment because I kept thinking about if this was the right choice I was going for. And I went for this style right here. A little bit of softness to it. Kind of a children's book text to it. But I was trying to imitate this. Now the downside, this is a digital copy, so I don't know exactly what textured brush did they use. This one's more digital. You can tell it's very heavily digital. While this one, looks like it's a scan print, so it could be the paper texture quality or something else. Which is another thing we gotta talk about, but I have yet to play around with that. This one looks like it's a mixture of ink, watercolor, maybe alcohol marker, and color pencils. It looks like it's a mixture of all three. And they did a good job of blending them all together. I could be wrong. Maybe they could use pure just pencil or watercolor. But it doesn't look watercolor. It looks pretty clean. The only thing I'm saying is watercolor is because this part right here. But it looks like they have tight control of it. And even then, it doesn't have to be perfect. The whole point of this is to showcase presence. Do you feel the presence radiating from the artwork? In this case, you can feel it. Even if you put the ink on top of it, and sorry, that's a shadowing, you can still feel like the energy wants to come out. Like it wants to expand. I even left a little hint right here. And I'm purposely allowing it like that. Because that's my style. I want energy to radiate from my drawings. Like, they're not just constricted to the lines. They're more than that. They're energy. It's like, it's kind of cool. That's my style of it. I always like it messy. Even this part right here. So, and I like to be loose with my lines. I like to be confident about it. That's one thing I need to learn. Be confident about it, only do one strokes, and be quick about it, and only allow curves. I haven't done any strong geometrical flat lines yet, but a lot of life when it comes to organic materials is very curvy. So that's my rule of thumb for sketching or for even drawing. Curves, curves, curves. The more curves, the better. There is no such thing as a straight line. Well, that's my rule on a human figure or animals for the most part. Everything that's organic has most of the time has to have curves. And even if you showcase this with any characters, if you talk about 90s and polygons and all that, then yeah, that's straight line. That's interpreted through polygon or 2D, 3D early gen consoles. But when it comes to drawing or imitating that, it's most of the time it's curves. Life is full of curves. Even if you see all this, there's barely any straight lines. And don't think of this as just straight lines. This is actually curved lines. They are curving around, which is what I try imitating over here. It's curving around. I could probably do a better job that does coming out straight lines, but once again, even other characters, you're rarely ever going to see a straight line. It's all curves. Like everything curves. This curves. His nose curves. This guy's finger curves. His hands curves. The smile curves. Curves, curves, curves. How you use these curves will dictate what the eyes will follow. But yeah, so don't think of anything as pointy as a straight line. Think of it as a curvy, pointy line. Once again, you think, oh, straight line, straight line. No, it curves. It's soft curves. So playing around with curves, try to get a feel for it. And we're going to continue to work on this frog. But showcase the history. So I'm pretty sure that's what you want to do right now. So this is the part that I was playing around with. I got the texture, and the texture that I used, which I saved, is in my draft brushes. So right now I'm just collecting. So this is what I use. I use the Sandy Gata bleach as an eraser. Loaded wet on wet for hard surfaces, like for this part right here, the really dark spots. Dried up wash to give it more of a texture, and wet on wet to give like a soft wetness to it, like this part right here. But we're just gonna keep it simple right now because I think I'm done with the frog, honestly. I don't want to kill it. I'm just trying to keep it simple. Right now we're just doing texture. So let's go back to F-Tune Neptune. Let's put it over here again. And now I'm gonna showcase what I was doing slowly, little by little. So once again, I'm just playing around, trying to get a feel for if this is where I want to go. And I'm looking at the lighting. I'm not being too specific and perfect. I'm just eyeballing it. I say if you try to be perfect about it, you might as well just take a picture, honestly. Like, that's my go-to. That's some artist mentality too. Just take a picture if you want to be perfect. Why draw? If you're gonna draw exactly detail, you're only God's gonna notice the detail. The average person will not. Only an other artist will understand you didn't do it correctly, like a talented one, like you didn't get the shadow right, you didn't get the lighting right. The average viewer, it's going to interpret it. Like the average person, a non-artist, will probably understand, oh, that's a really cool frog, and that's it. Oh, I think this is cool. But I don't get this time the appreciation of it. That's probably when a real artist comes, and even then, it's like, it really depends whose opinion you care about. If it's your hero, I guess so. If it's yourself, you have no one else to worry about. If it's your mom or dad or your friends, it's probably easy. They're probably going to support you. If it's the general public or audience, it really varies. You're probably going to get a few people in your audience who's going to care about your art. Or maybe everybody's going to like your art. Maybe you're the one trending. So really ask yourself, are you doing this for yourself? Are you doing this for others? Or are you doing it to get noticed by your hero? And be careful with the hero part. So right here, let's go back a bit. Just playing around, just texturizing the body. Like I said, I'm just not going ham. Because honestly, I'll be honest, I got tired of the frog. I like the frog, but I kind of lost interest in it. I will finish it up. I don't want to just quit on this project. Because my mind got interested in something else. I just want to continue working with anatomy. I was just doing this to just get an understanding of Capcom art, and I actually did. I appreciate that. I picked up some brushes that I would have not thought about using, even though I bought them. Right here, I'm just playing around. Notice how there's a mossy green texture to it. So we're recreating it again using the same brushes. I'm just going back and forth. This part, I will have to admit, I use color pencils right here. I'm using color pencils at that point because I'm trying to imitate this part now. To me, this part isn't. I think this is ink. The rest is color pencils, from my understanding. And this is not yellow. This is probably an orange contrast. I could be wrong. And these really good duality too. I'm pretty sure they use an orange right here instead of a yellow for lighting, which is a good contrast with blue. And then let's keep going. Ah, man, that's pretty smart too. They use a. Notice he has an orange right here, and then the back part, it's orange, but it looks like they neutralized it with the blue, which they have a good understanding of. Well, I'm trying to blank out. They neutralized the orange and the shading. That's pretty cool, actually. Damn, they have a good understanding of perspective and lighting. Fuck. Versus over here, it's just one color shade. Wow, that's interesting. So this is more of a digital work, and this is for color shading. But over here, they really understand neutralizing a color in shadows. Versus here, just changing the hue and tone of a color, of a main primary color, and just getting the dark hue of it. Nothing wrong with that, but I think this is really advanced. This is actually pretty cool. Damn, I give him props, whoever did this. If I take it, I don't know the hardest is, but let's just keep going with this. Once again, I'm just playing around, and I'm adding, not sure if you noticed yet, but I added dots, like speckled dots, to imitate this. And then we're gonna keep going with it. Color pencils, I'll bring that in to give it more texture. Added line work. And I did some on the lips, but I wasn't sure to add it, but I kept it. And then this part, I use a dark wet ink. I think I use Yale liner, or not Kyoto. It's very brushy. But I did a heavy shadow on top of it, not with the artwork, because one thing you might, if you notice, I don't recommend on the same layer using all the same brushes. Not sure why, but certain brushes won't layer on top of other brushes. If anything, it won't blend correctly. Not sure why, but I don't recommend it. So each time you pick a new brush, I recommend starting a new layer. That's why you see so many layers right here. And we're gonna keep going with it. And this part, I really got really lazy, because once again, I just wanted to finish it. I'm like, I kind of got bored of it. I feel like I did a good job, which is a lie, but I still got to do this part. So we might come back to it later, or I could just finish it right now. But for the most part, we're gonna showcase the rest, and then this is the part where I left off, or I came back on. So we're just gonna do some texture pickup. Once again, I just want to get rid of this real quick. I'm just tired. Honestly, just tired, but I don't want to break consistency with my videos. If not, just... Oh, crap. If not, I probably just won't do this. It's going to be just another YouTuber or someone who just quits. So... but I'm teaching it. Like, just... Why am I teaching something or showcasing others my process? People at work or others have said that they really like how I break things down or explain things, and one of my passions is art. I really like this, and someone said, why am I doing this? Hopefully, I know money is not an issue, but if maybe I could get support from people to continue to do this, and that'd be awesome. So I'm not gonna quit on that. Maybe there are others who like the way I teach, and maybe I could be supported by the world or by the community based on my thinking, or based how I'm showcasing art. I don't know. That's my mentality when it comes to doing this stuff. So I'm using the Kyoto brush. I'm a big fan of Japanese brushes. Now, I don't know if Kyoto is a Japanese brush. I think this company is a German base, so that's just... We're just spitballing here. Pretty sure they just give it a Japanese name. And I give it a hard shade. Way different. And... Now we're gonna give it a hard shade, a soft shade here. And there's a soft shade right here. And there's a soft shade right here. Where else? I'm not gonna do that, I already did that. I'm trying to think right now. I guess we should do the green parts now, the leg. I'm not really a big fan of it. So we're gonna go back. I think we're gonna open up the second layer again. I have so many goddamn layers, and let's just see what we could get with the green. So once again, I'm just trying to get a feel for it. This is our own frog. Doesn't have to match it. So we're gonna go to draft brushes. I think I'm gonna go with Sandy Godot, what I did last time, and we're just gonna layer on top of it. And then we're gonna do a little small one right here. We'll clean it up right now. I think this might be the, oh, never mind. Well, actually it is. Ooh. Okay, we're gonna zoom in real quick, and we're just gonna eyeball it. Okay. And then this part right here. From right here to 1/3 of it. And then that part we already did, so let's look around. Any more spots that look... Yeah, okay. So now we're gonna give them some hard lines around it. It looks white. We're gonna zoom in a bit, just for my... Yeah, it's like, it's a mixture of brown, but... You may not see the white, but to the eye it does look like there's a whiteness around it. So we're just gonna give it a white outline. So the 3 things we could do: continue to circle it around with the red and with the brown, and then hitting it with the white, or erasing it. So there's 2 ways we could go backwards with this. And we're just gonna do our own feel to it. Alright, let's see. And then even the outer part is hard as like a white. Once again, I'm not really trying to be perfect with this. It's just for you and me to have fun with it. So if I'm talking to you, probably because I'm talking to myself. This is a dark region right here. Cool. Man, we're gonna do the feet, and even this part of the feet is a little darker than the rest. And we're just gonna follow up with it. Okay, now we're gonna hit it with the white. So the question is, what part should it? We're just gonna do a soft white. Or you know what? What if we just draw our own white? Let's see what happens. Wait. See, it's not mixing in well, so I have to erase all that again and do a different layer. Then there's little dark spots in the white. We're gonna go back to that and actually hit it with a dark outline. It's actually pretty cool. I like just giving it our own texture to it. There's a little bit of darkness. We can actually go darker. Why does it have that? I don't know. I don't know if frogs have. I don't know the science behind it. It just looks cool. I'm just looking at the frog. The frog. I'm just copying the rules of the frog. And then this little dark region against the black. So. Probably wondering, why are you hitting brown spots around the black outlines? Looks like there's brown right here. Looks like there's brown right there. There's brown right here. It's brown right there, even in the dark regions. I don't know. Well, let's just have fun. There's like brown region around the eyes too. See, I don't know if I want to do the eye as a dark one. We could probably come back to this later. Or we could just erase it like that with the wash. Okay. Made a little mistake, but we're gonna keep it. And now we got a little. Okay, and then the lip. Not too much. It's like a softness to it. Okay. And then the feet. It's like a little bit. It's like little round spots even on the outside. Okay, we got to texture this part now. So we're gonna go to draft brush and we're gonna use Sandy Godot. I'm just gonna fill this in. We're gonna hit it with this bleach. Let's try one time. Okay. There's a little brown spot right here too. But even around the chest. Now we're gonna hit it. There's a little highlight right here. I don't know if I want to do it. I mean, we'll do it. Fuck it. We'll see what happens. We gotta find the right texture for it. So there's a... Whoa, not that one. Let's do a highlight. Fuck, let's see what happens. I'm gonna give it that good old frog shine. Okay, exaggerated a bit. Any more highlight spots on the elbow? We can exaggerate it. This part right here. Curves, always use curves. Any more highlights on the eye? Once again, not a master at this, just learning from nature. I got plenty of times to understand lighting. Ooh, looking at this currently looking out. And we're actually gonna hit a dark part of green right there. Not sure if you noticed, just by looking at the picture, a little dark green on the back. So let's see if we can go darker. And we're actually gonna hit it with the same thing, the sand god set. I'm gonna make that a little darker. A little more darker. So it fades in. And I like the way that came out. So let's see if we could play around. No, let's exaggerate it. We're gonna exaggerate it a bit. I'm gonna hit it with a dark green. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna exaggerate it. Why not? I'm gonna hit it with dark green. Let's hit some part of dark green. Okay. I want to give the elbows some dark green. This part, we're going to hit with some dark green. Okay. I'm actually going to hit it going back to the black. We're going to hit it with black, soft blackness to it. We're going to ink it. And question is, do I want to hit it with a black outline? To me, you know what? It doesn't hurt. We can always start a new layer. Let's see how that looks. We're gonna just copy the gesture. Does that add to it or take it away? And I'm being lazy right now, so not sure if I want to keep it. Let's hit it with will it look good with this? Hell no. Oh yeah, I forgot. I was doing color pencil. Let's hit it with dark color pencil. Let's go back to brown. See, the brown part didn't have any. It wouldn't make sense for it to have lines though on a frog. I'm only doing it to see. Yeah, see, I don't know if I want to add lines. That looks pretty cool though. Like, why would a frog have lines? Maybe it's a predatorial thing, but I think I'm gonna take it away. The soft lines, yeah, but other than that, we're just gonna keep it like that, and we're gonna bring back this because I'm too lazy to do the background. Or I can teach you all the trick real quick if you're really lazy. We're gonna stop it right here. So what's the trick, you ask? Easy. What you want to do if you have Photoshop, I have Affinity Design. You grab this, fit it in the back, put it behind your drawing. Hold on, I'll explain right now what's happening. I'm still trying to figure out how Affinity works. You rasterize it real quick. Where is it? Rasterize and trim. Send it to the back again. Next, you want to grab your eraser. We're gonna erase. We're actually gonna expand the picture a bit because the tree can't be too close. We're gonna bring the frog in. We're gonna rasterize and trim it. Cool. Grab the picture. Erase. Only focus on the frog. Just gonna make a roughness to it. Now you're probably wondering, why don't you use the original picture? And it's just Copy the background. Yeah, or we could do our own background, but I'm just doing it a different way. Hold on, this is not being working right. I gotta go back to the original. Okay, next, usually what I like to do is blur the background. And it's not a good choice of color for the background. So this is where we get to have fun now. We can either bring back the original or add our own touch to it. Since the frog is a green, let's focus on the green. Let's find some different palettes for it. This is where I like to have fun. So let's go to Light Bruiser. Okay, let's use this as our guide. I'm in the lab. Usually the lab does a good job of primaries. We want to keep some white, so we could allow some white to come in. Already we run into a problem because it's bleeding in. Give it an abstract look to it. Let's go with purple to make the green pop out. We're gonna keep the white. And some part of me wants to use yellow, so why not use yellow? Remember, keep the white. Then the problem is I hit a green right here, so let's hit that off. Damn it. Let's hit it with the blue again. And yeah, that's it. We got our own little frog. Can I do more? Yeah, but do I want to? No. I'm just gonna keep it like that. I just want to move on, and that's it. It's experimentation. Hope you all like it. Not too much. Really, it's not too much. Did I learn anything from Capcom? No. Did I pick up some new brushes trying to imitate it? Yeah. Once again, art doesn't have to be perfect or realistic. It's up to you. Just I recommend if you're trying to be a real hyper realistic, just take a photography and learn some Photoshop skills and just play around with it. But don't let me tell you what to do. I just have my issues with hyperrealism. It's just, yeah. If you could somehow turn hyperrealism into fiction, God, you're amazing. I think that's where the human mind could really expand. Hyperrealism in terms of fiction, whew, you got yourself with the movies industry. So thank you for watching, and hope you all enjoyed the frog.